Guten Morgen. Guten Abend. Guten evening.
Have you got the keys ready?
I've got the keys ready.
Good man.
There we are, Luke Moore.
Has someone found the keys to Harry Kane's plane yet?
What a saga!
What's most important, though, Pete, I think we can all agree,
Yes.
is at the time we're sitting here recording this now, I think Harry Kane might be sat in a house, in a sofa, waiting for permission to get on the
The way
plane.
it was described, he was at the airport and Spurs gave him permission to travel for his medical in Munich. He was then expected to fly, of course, and he was driven to Stansted, but then he was told not to fly because there was some bits and pieces in the deal that Spurs still wanted to sort of hash out. And then it was described as Harry Kane was then at a nearby family home or something, which, as somebody pointed out, makes it sound like he's moved to a safe house.
Witness protection, yeah.
By the way, could I just, all of this stuff about whether Kane wanted to leave or not, and it looks like he did, so that's fair enough.
And 55.3% of our listeners said he was going to go on a poll on Twitter yesterday.
So a general kind of consensus was, yes, pretty, could go either way kind of thing, right?
Kexit.
Yeah, yeah. Kane's sit is probably going to happen. But
he's in a bed sit now, isn't
my
he?
argument was that, like, if you hire clearly an incompetent as your agent because he's your brother, he's got no other clients, and is it really indicative of a great amount of ambition? It's not like you're not thinking about, he can get the best deal for me. She's like, this is easy because he's my brother.
Yeah.
And then when you talk about that, and the reason that plays into what I was going to say now is because when you talk about him being told not to get on a plane, right? Can you imagine like Cristiano Ronaldo said, "All right, I won't get on it then."
Yeah.
They just go.
Yeah.
A lot of big players with big personalities and a lot of ambition will just say, "Well, sorry, but you've agreed the deal."
But he's all optics, though, isn't he? He's worried about his legacy at Spurs.
But he always
and
seems
the Premier
frightened.
League
He always
legacy.
just seems frightened.
Yeah, but no, but Ronaldo will get on the plane and just circle around the airport for a bit. Makes it just look like
Burn off some
I'm not
petrol.
going.
Yeah.
They're happy. I get my sort of photographs.
Yeah, so a lot of the times in that situation, you're right, but you're right from what you said before in terms of
hear that,
competent
Marcus?
in Charlie Kane.
Yeah.
With regards to like that'll be the agent being like, you get on the plane, I'll
deal with it.
I'll
yeah.
deal with the blowback.
Yeah,
you get on the
exactly.
plane,
But exactly.
and often the plane doesn't actually go to that destination.
Yes.
It might go nearby, but you basically won't be. It won't necessarily arrive. Say in like in Munich airport.
I'm just going to Berlin for the weekend.
Yeah. So it's sold as that. It's like,
Got VIP
we're
at
going
the club,
to
Saga,
we're going to Spain for a break then.
Yeah.
We're
To
going
be fair, there is a game tomorrow.
I was about to say on the eve of the Premier League.
No, we're not, I mean,
not even the eve, is it?
but It's
not
not
the eve.
hard. It's not hard to
Rio Ferdinand will do it.
get in and out, is it?
True enough.
Yeah.
I just wonder if the sort of sticking point is the fact that Harry Kane, he's got his Skechers football boot deal for life. And Bayern Munich, like, you're not wearing them here. It's Adidas or nothing here, big boy.
I love that Charlie Kane, right, has presumably got a deal for Harry Kane's boots. He's the biggest scoring England player of all time.
Yeah.
And he's got a deal for him for a boot so bad that he's had to dust it in among all this other news that's going on.
Yeah.
We'll bury that. We'll bury that today.
We've got you a incredible drinks deal. Oh wow, one of the biggest drinks in the world, Coca-Cola. Well,
Wow.
cola, yeah,
Roller cola.
Panda Pop.
Can you still get Panda Pop?
Not even classic cola, is
Panda
it?
Pops is just a shoe before my son puts his foot in it. It's confusing for the film later on.
But I think this is presuming Kane does go. He wants to go. Certainly, that was the.
If Orney's calling it,
Yeah.
he's unimpeachable.
I
in my
honestly
view.
think this is a superb move for him because
Same.
do you know what? There seems to be this. There are some corners of X, shall we say, or Twitter.
Yeah.
So we spoke about this, Marcus. You can't do this every show.
He's defined the Musketeer and calling it Twitter still.
It's X.
Brave guy.
X,
Brave
yeah.
guy.
Visionary.
Anyway.
Thought leader.
On social media,
Car full of batteries. Yeah.
right? A lot of people on Soch are saying that.
Yes, I like that.
Yeah.
Are saying that. Well, so what? Like he wins a Bundesliga, as if it's like I don't know, like winning a Sunday league or something. The idea of like winning the Bundesliga with Bayern Munich seems to be just completely immaterial.
Imagine
here.
playing in a one-team league, eh? Jesus Christ.
It's mad.
But you get to play on that one team.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
No, but the thing is, though, it's so much more. I understand Bayern have won it, for 500 years in a row, whatever it is, 11 years in a row, something like that, Bundesliga. The fact is, he's going to go to one of Europe's biggest clubs, one of the biggest and most elite clubs where you are expected to win every week. You're going to be latter stages Champions League, challenging for the Champions League.
The second favourites for the Champions League.
Second favourites for
We
the
don't
Champions
need to
League.
be,
You're going to be the
told,
highest
do we?
earner there. You're
Yes.
going to be the main man. You're going to have a slightly less physical and intense season ahead of the Euros
Yeah.
as well. It's you're going to a country which is not too dissimilar to here. If you know,
Totally.
all that kind of stuff. It's a glorious opportunity, and he signed a 4-year deal. You know, play there for 2 or 3 seasons, because you would imagine 2 or 3 seasons if this Alan Shearer Premier League record is so important. It's a brilliant move, and to go to a club like that to say, I know what it's like to play for one of the undisputed big boys of European football. This idea that people go, we still want you in the Bundesliga with Bayern. Well, what?
Michael Owen was one of them.
There you go.
Mickey Owen, you're one of your favourite interviewees.
One of my few interviewees.
Yeah.
But I just think this whole business with Alan Shearer's record, Alan Shearer is the 5th highest scorer in English top flight history. Now, I know that doesn't mean anything to the kids and so on. It's all about Premier League. But it's Jimmy Greaves.
Yeah.
And Alan Shearer's number 5 on that list. I get that, but Kane is England's top scorer. It will be unlikely if anyone ever usurps that, or indeed it will take a long time. The same with top goal scorer at Spurs. With this Premier League scoring record, get the Bundesliga, go after the Champions League. And I think his decision is spot on here.
I totally agree with that. I also think one of the things that is being overlooked here to a point, and maybe it isn't actually, because there's just been a sea of information and articles and updates out there that maybe, you know, gets lost between the cracks. But you say Bayern are second favourite for the Champions League. They're closer to favourite with Harry Kane.
Oh, absolutely.
yeah.
Harry Kane makes them a better team.
They're a closer favourite to the Champions League than Spurs are.
Yeah. But I think that's the other element that is lost in this, because of this saga has been going on for about 3 years now. It's what Harry Kane brings to Bayern Munich. He is an outstanding player. They're not just getting a goal scorer. They're getting someone who posts De Bruyne numbers in terms of assists and how he works with the creation side of the team.
The wingers they have and the players around him, Brassel's already mapped it out. It's a brilliant fit.
And you know, your point about a less grueling season coming into the Euros is absolutely spot on because of their winter break.
Yeah,
he's going to be. He'll probably come back on loan to Spurs to play the Christmas period.
There you go.
Just top himself up every now and again.
And also as well, Harry Kane is Mr. Tottenham Hotspur, despite that photo of a youngster of him allegedly when he was wearing an Arsenal shirt. And you know, he is their top scorer. He's one of the greatest players in their history. If he did go to Man City or Manchester United, for example, that would sully that a little bit. It would.
I don't think that matters anymore. I think gone are the days of undying loyalty, and maybe that was a bit more romanticised because there wasn't as fluid a movement in the transfer market. Players, do you remember there was a stage in the 90s where, you know, Italian rivals would just pick players off each other. Do you remember? And then suddenly that happened in the Premier League in 2000, 2005, or whatever, you know, well, maybe a bit further on.
Do you remember Batistuta? He got his statue at Fiorentina and was like, right, I'm off to Roma to win Serie A.
Nice.
But it is like, I honestly, I think this is a brilliant move. But the personal stuff, of course, his wife is soon to give birth and so on. There's a lot of all that kind of thing. But we can only speculate on that. When you have these conversations, you're effectively playing fantasy football. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I also sorry, I've realised I've co-opted this, but just one
fucking out of order. That's my job normally.
But I also feel like whatever decision he makes will be the right decision.
Yeah.
Like there are so many pros on both sides, and the cons are really what you might miss out on. It's like nebulous concepts basically. So I think for him, either way, there won't be as much regret there.
No.
Well, I don't think if he.
How can you turn down Bayern?
If he stays at Spurs his whole career, I think we've got a right to not take him that seriously.
Well, look, imagine a
player and that's our thing.
But with a player of that caliber finishing his footballing career without a trophy.
Yeah.
But he's more chance of winning a trophy with England than Spurs.
But do you not think?
That's the.
But do you not think, Mark, we are arguing with people like Michael Owen who genuinely think that Bayern aren't an incredible footballing side and the Bundesliga isn't an incredible footballing league? What we should be looking at is Daniel Levy. Like, the money was on offer.
Yeah.
This same amount of money would have been on offer at the start of the summer.
Yep.
Why is it happening on the day the Premier League starts?
Yeah,
what a ridiculous situation.
He always does that.
I know he always does that.
Well, it could have been Kane.
This is the worst example of it, isn't it?
But Bayern did go in with a couple of lower offers, didn't they? And it took a while to get to the.
But do you not think that could have happened?
I take the point.
Probably, yeah.
I take the point. The fact is that Ange Postecoglou is saying he wants Kane to stay, and Kane played recently against, was it Shakhtar and da. But you know, unconfirmed reports that Richarlison was the one who gave him a lift to the airport. You know, he'll be very happy about this.
Pete, I assume. Actually, no, I know you're a big eBayer, and you know when it gets to the end of the deadline, you're like, right, I'm just going to pay the price that gets me it outright.
Yeah. Like, buy it now.
I think I think Pete's definitely onto something because
they'll buy two Harry Kanes.
Yeah.
If you're a Spurs fan, I mean, you know, you're thinking, okay, we haven't got a huge amount of time to replace him. what we're basically gonna do, and
We need one of the best strikers in the world for 100 million.
But I think there's an element to this, and it's very hard to make a proper argument. Losing someone who scores 30 Premier League goals in a season is a good thing, but and I suppose overall it isn't a good thing. But if you're trying to find ways of being positive about it, you would probably say, look, this is a saga. Every single manager that's come in
has had to deal with this.
The last few years has been able to deal with this. And I think Postecoglou looks like he's dealt with it pretty well.
I do.
And you say that, I can't remember who it was who said it, he wants him to stay. Well, of course he wants him to stay. He's one of the best strikers in the world. But he's also been pretty kind of relaxed about it.
Yeah.
Like, I'll do whatever. I want it sorted one way or another, and then I can move on with my life because we're trying to build a team here. That's exactly the right noises he should be making.
Yeah.
So from Spurs' point of view, to cast it in a positive light, you could say, right, it's done.
Yep.
Get on with it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everyone exhale, relax a bit, and now you attack the season without this hanging over your head, because at the very least, it's going to hang over his head. It would have hung over their head for another few months at least, because he may have signed a new contract, but he wouldn't have signed one probably straight away. So it's nipped in the bud. Move on with your life.
And they've got a huge fee as well, and he's only got 1 year left on his contract.
Enjoy your 12th place.
Enjoy your money.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching a clip from the Football Ramble podcast. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss an upload. A single upload. Don't miss out on the uploads. The uploads are important.